China targets SpaceX Starlink customers, and here's how. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much once again joining me for tea time. Today we have a little bit of misty morning and focus combination. That zing, that bergamot, so good. I hope you're joining me with your cup of tea, maybe a cup of coffee, hanging out, talking tech, talking photo, talking video. Today is a tech day. We're going to be talking about China and Starlink, SpaceX, and how China is targeting SpaceX's customers, you and I. Most likely, if you're watching this video, you probably have Starlink or you're interested in Starlink. By the way, if you want more Starlink coverage that I have done over the past year and a half, I have about 170 videos now just in a Starlink playlist. It's about 1,000 videos on this channel, but there's 160, 170 in a Starlink playlist. Maybe I'll put a little button over here. Go check them out when you're done watching this video. Now, I was reading a couple of articles that talked about this, and I want to read through one of them for you and then give you my commentary on it. And then most importantly, as I always say, it's all about you guys, not me, the talking head. I want to know your thoughts about this. What do you think? Once again, wait to the end of the video and then down below in the comment area, let me know. If you enjoyed this video even the least, throw it a thumbs up. That would be awesome. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not already and click this little button over here so when I go live, you'll be notified of it. So let's jump right into this article. I think this is really interesting and I hope you do too. This just came out, I think yesterday. It's very new, and it has to do with China and what they are doing to compete, let's say, and target the SpaceX Starlink customers. Once again, like you and I. It starts out by saying, China has revealed its plans to construct a satellite network that will rival Elon Musk's Starlink. Currently, there are approximately 8,000 operational satellites orbiting the Earth, with around 55% of them being owned by Starlink. That's a lot. More than half. That's amazing. I didn't even realize that. In order to bring hundreds of millions of people online and offer global connectivity, China intends to launch thousands of broadband satellites into low Earth orbit. This ambitious project will put China in direct competition with SpaceX Starlink. However, the crowdedness of space raises questions about how China can successfully compete. To understand this, let's explore the details of China's plan along with the challenges it will face. By launching thousands of broadband satellites, China aims to provide internet access to remote areas and regions that currently lack connectivity. This move has the potential to connect hundreds of millions of people globally, allowing them to join the digital age, or as I used to call it, the digital divide. The digital divide has been going on for many, many years, and there's a lot of folks out there that are still on the wrong side of the track, so to speak. And hopefully one day we'll have everyone connected, but not just connected with slow speeds, connected with broadband. And that's one of the things that I've been a proponent of many, many years. So we'll get into that maybe in another video all about the digital divide. I'm actually writing a book right now about something similar, and that'll probably be done in the next month or two, so stay tuned for that. Anyways, shameless plug, let's get back into the article. To achieve this, China will need to overcome several obstacles. Firstly, the sheer number of satellites required for such a network is enormous, far exceeding the currently operational satellites in orbit. This poses a logistical challenge in terms of manufacturing, launching, and maintaining thousands of satellites. Also, not to mention collision avoidance. There needs to be some type of autonomous avoidance system or a way to not crash into other satellites. It is becoming very packed up there in LEO or low Earth orbit. And when SpaceX Starlink finally hits that magic number of 43,000 is what Elon Musk's goal is, there is going to be literally 100,000 most likely by that time, small, maybe large, satellites in low Earth orbit. This is going to be quite a challenge, and I think that's what they're alluding to here in the article. Additionally, ensuring the network's reliability and minimizing interference with existing satellite systems will be crucial. With numerous satellites operating in close proximity, careful coordination and advanced technology will be necessary to prevent signal interference and maintain uninterrupted service and collisions. They should stick that in there. Moreover, the cost factor cannot be ignored. Building and deploying thousands of satellites is a costly endeavor. China will need significant financial resources to finance this infrastructure project successfully. Furthermore, the ongoing operational expenses, including satellite maintenance and upgrade, will require substantial funding. I think China is good for it. They got a ton of money. And a lot of it is ours, right? Another consideration for China is the regulatory landscape, and this is big. The space industry is heavily regulated, and adherence to international laws and guidelines is essential. China must ensure that the satellite network complies with these regulations, which may require negotiation and agreements with other nations. I think over the years, we found that China really doesn't care too much about regulations. They really don't care too much about pollution, and they really don't care about what other nations think. That's my personal opinion, what I've seen over the last 50 years. So, I don't know about you. I think that statement is kind of meh, let's say. But what do you think? Once again, down below, do you think that China cares about the rest of the nation's regulations? Down below, let me know. Furthermore, competition within the satellite industry is already intense. Several companies, including Amazon's Project Kuiper and OneWeb, are also vying for a share of the global broadband market. China will have to differentiate itself and offer competitive advantages to attract customers and establish a significant market presence. This is what they're going to need to do to be able to get all of us, the Starlink customers, right, that are currently with Elon Musk. What can China do once they put their vast number of satellites in orbit and they provide now global coverage? Do they do it with just lower costs? Do they do it almost like a TikTok thing, so like everyone gets it for free type of thing, and then they just take your data, take, let's say, your information? How will that work? Will it be something like Apple's iPhone, which I predict in years from now, becoming only a wallet that is free? You follow that? Meaning that Apple will give you the iPhone for nothing, and you would use it as a wallet, and they basically have all of your information, and you use Apple as a, let's say, lending provider or a bank. And iPhone, or let's call it Apple as such, becomes more of a bank or a commerce type of means of transacting money and goods. And no longer, let's say, a phone that you just purchased. They will give it to you for free. Could that be something that the Chinese do with this? Provide broadband internet access to everyone for nothing, and basically the only thing that you have to give is your soul. Just like Facebook, there's nothing different here, right? When you use Facebook, you're using it for free, but is it really free? It's not, right? Anyways, the article finalizes with this. Although China is determined to challenge the dominance of Starlink, it is important to acknowledge SpaceX's head start. With over half of the operational satellites currently belonging to SpaceX Starlink, they have already made significant progress in building their global broadband network. However, China's vast resources and determined efforts cannot be underestimated. I agree with that. China's plans to build a satellite network to rival Elon Musk's Starlink is an ambitious endeavor. It aims to bring online connectivity to remote areas and compete in the global broadband market. However, challenges such as manufacturing and deploying thousands of satellites, ensuring reliability, addressing regulatory requirements, and standing out in a competitive industry must be overcome. With perseverance and strategic execution, China may offer a formidable alternative to Starlink and other satellite networks in the future. And I agree with this article. I really do. I think that China can really do this. They can make it happen. Number one, they already have been to the moon, let's say, right? They already understand space. They have plenty of satellites already in space. I think the one thing that they're going to need to overcome, and it's definitely not monetary because they have a ton of money, right? I think the biggest things is a means of creating something like Elon has when it comes to the reusability of the rockets. Being able to launch rockets daily is something that they're going to need to do to be able to get to the numbers of satellites in orbit that they require. Right? So I think that's going to be a major task. Are they going to be able to have rockets that go and deliver like a Falcon 9, deliver 55 satellites into space, then come back down and land on an autonomous craft, a watercraft, a boat, and then land on top of the boat, and then the boat ferries that rocket to land, it gets revitalized and then refueled up and launches again. Some of these rockets have launched 10, 15, 20 times already, literally up and down and up and down. They're going to need that type of system. They're not going to be able to just launch rockets and use them expendably, and let's say just launch them and just crash them, the leftovers, into the ocean over and over and over and over. It's just not going to be feasible. So they're going to need something like what Elon Musk has. I have not seen this or heard of anything about this as of yet. Are they working on it? I would certainly think so, because I think that will be the only way they're going to be able to make this happen. So the bottom line here is China's goal is to become a superpower in space, let's say, non-terrestrial communication. Basically be able to help the folks that do not have internet connection. The same thing that Elon said way back in the day when he first started, a means of crossing or bridging that digital divide to bring the haves and have-nots together. The people that have broadband and the people that don't. We're not talking about just communication, slow speed. We're talking about broadband, being able to get everyone over that mark, over that line. They're looking to provide broadband globally, not just for the Chinese people. Now, once again, how will they make that happen? Will they do it for free? Like I speculate eventually we'll see with Apple, as Apple becomes less of a phone manufacturer and more of a wallet manufacturer and a bank. This is what I predict what will happen. And if we do eventually see CDC, well, I mean, Apple will be the wallet, most likely, right? All of your money will be sitting on a phone, basically, which is your wallet, and that is it. And your wallet will cost either nothing or it'll be maybe $50 or something like that. It will no longer be $1,200. And the reason being is they want you in their ecosphere, their ecosystem, and being part of their bank. Why do you think Apple always pushes Apple Pay? Every damn moment I open my phone and I say no to it, it wants to get me back into Apple Pay. I don't want to use Apple Pay, but they sure want you to do so, right? Once again, becoming a lender, becoming a bank. And that's something that the Chinese could possibly do with this competitor to Elon Musk, SpaceX Starlink. I really don't know. The one thing that I do know is that the space race or the satellite broadband race is red hot. And I know there is many countries and a ton of companies all competing, all trying to get us on board with them into their ecosystem instead of SpaceX Starlink. Right now, SpaceX Starlink is number one, but can they continue that way? And what do you think will happen with China? Do you think that they will become victorious over Elon Musk, SpaceX Starlink, or do you think that Starlink will continue to be number one? I want to know your thoughts down below in the comment area. Let me know. Let's have this discussion. I think it is a very interesting one moving forward in 2023 as we see China start launching satellite after satellite after satellite into low Earth orbit. Anyways, guys, I hope you found this interesting. If you have, throw it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, do all of those things. And if you just want to say thank you for all of my hard work, there's a little thank you button down here. Click that, give $1 if you want. If not, that's fine too. Consider becoming a member of the channel. That would be even better. And don't forget, like I said before, go check out that Starlink playlist, Starlink podcast, whatever they want to call it these days. Go check it out. 150, 60, 70, I think it's close to 170 Starlink specific videos. Helpful how-tos, tips, tricks, what to do, what not to do, what to buy, what not to buy, all kinds of commentary from me. If you like it, check those out. And finally, head over to my website, JCristina.com, where you can find all the photography tools I've invented for you and me over the years. And hopefully there's something there that you might like. And if there is, please pick it up and support me and my family. That's it, guys. I'm out of here for yet another vlog. Many blessings to you and your family. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you in the next one. Love you all.